It was a rough weekend, Knicks fans. It was a rough weekend for our young guys, for our players trying to get into a rotation, for the players who we wanted to get more playing time last year. It was rough. It was rough. That's okay, right? That's okay. Welcome to Knicks Latest. I am Josh Rodriguez. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below. We're going to be bringing you all the latest for New York Knicks basketball, headlines, rumors, trades, all that good stuff in the offseason, headed into the most anticipated Knicks season, in my lifetime at least, a season where the New York Knicks can legitimately win a championship, and that is why I'm not freaking out about the Knicks struggling over the weekend in Las Vegas. They went 0-2 over the weekend with losses against the Detroit Pistons Summer League team and the Boston Celtics. Did not look good at all. Again, this isn't a situation where we've been so many times in the past, right? Typically, Knicks fans, Summer League means almost everything. We just drafted somebody in the lottery. We want to see how he does. Maybe we drafted somebody else in the first round, high second round. We want to see how they do, see if they show any promise, see if there's a future there in New York. And luckily, right now, if you are a Knicks fan, we all know that really these players are fighting for the 10th, 11th spot on the roster at most. Your Huck Porties, your Tyler Koleks. I mean, they're players who got playing time last year based off of injuries, players who you would like to see improve in the offseason. But outside of them, no one really you expect to get playing time. Dadier was on the roster last year, didn't really see playing time. You would like to see him do well, but all in all, I mean, Summer League for the Knicks is not Summer League for like the Charlotte Hornets or the Utah Jazz. Like, we're not trying to scout for players who are going to be big impact players in our rotation. We're looking for players who can probably make a difference on the margins as a ninth player off the bench, 10th, 11th player. Whenever there's injuries or there's needs to be rest, a Tyler Kolek to go in there, play 15, 20 minutes, maybe a Huck Porty to be a backup center. That's what the Knicks are looking for right now. And with that into context, I don't think that we should be panicking over what we saw over the weekend. We did have a larger sample size last year with a few players. But before we get to one who I know Knicks Twitter and Knicks fans are kind of flipping out about, want to show love to Kevin McCullar. He had 30 points on 10 of 15 shooting in the second game against Boston, was a little inconsistent in the first game there against Detroit, but showed a lot of promise, showed, I guess, which would be maybe a backup to OG Anunoby at best going into this season. Showed flashes getting into the rim, showed flashes getting offensive rebounds. He was very aggressive. The Knicks have had trouble in both games breaking the defense down, getting into the paint, but Kevin was probably the only bright spot all weekend, if I'm being honest, from a Knicks standpoint. He didn't play too well in the first game, but the second game, he had a phenomenal game, and he's somebody who has caught the attention of Knicks fans. He's somebody who I don't expect really to get rotation minutes, but maybe playing his way onto the roster this year and maybe playing his way into back-end rotation minutes if someone gets hurt. Again, we're not looking for somebody to play a big role here as Knicks fans. We're just looking for capable NBA basketball players who can fill out the roster and who can fill in emergency situations. And McCullar looked more than capable. So shout out to McCullar, probably the only bright spot over the weekend for the Knicks. Want to talk a little bit about Tyler Kolek because he is somebody who I am a big believer in. He was my favorite player in college basketball 2 years ago at Marquette, somebody who was known to break half-court defenses down, get into the paint, make plays. He's a fantastic playmaker. He's a fantastic passer, and he's a decent to good three-point shooter in spot-up situations, at least, maybe not off the dribble. And it is very disappointing to see how he came out and he played this weekend. Seemed like he was trying to do too much, couldn't hit his shot, looked unsure in the lane, turned the ball over, couldn't handle ball pressure. Was just a very disappointing weekend from, I guess, a Tyler Kolek perspective. If you're rooting for him to make the roster or even get playing time next year, he's somebody who I thought maybe should have gotten more playing time last year. Maybe over this weekend, Tibbs has been a little vindicated. My biggest beef with the Knicks offense last year, and we'll see how it happens this year, but it was that they lacked playmaking from the point guard position or from the guard position as well. Tyler was known as somebody who can get into the paint, who can create off of a fast break, who looks for players first, and that is something I've always appreciated about his game. Now, I'm not giving up on Tyler, and you shouldn't give up on him either. Maybe he comes back in these final 2 games and he finishes strong and he shows something leading into the preseason where he shows something. We did see flashes last year when he played a little bit when Jalen Brunson was out and Deuce was hurt a little bit. Tyler did come into the game off the bench and distribute the basketball very well, albeit he didn't play fantastic defense, which is something we wanted him to improve on. Didn't seem to improve on it so much over the offseason so far, as he's been getting cooked in the summer league as well. But he's somebody who, Knick fans, I don't want you stressing that about Tyler. Tyler has a great nose for the game. He sees the court probably better than most of the Knicks team, if I'm being completely honest with you. From a playmaker perspective, he is probably the only player we have on our roster who's pass first, who looks for others first, and that's something that I think this team needs. He's somebody who, yeah, he might have played bad, but I think we saw enough flashes last year where we can keep him around on the bench, on the back end. If Clarkson gets hurt, if Deuce gets hurt, I would be comfortable with Tyler getting some minutes, 10, 15 minutes, 15 to 20, depending on how he's playing. And that's all we're looking for, right? We're not looking for a starting point guard. We're not looking for, a sixth man off the bench right now. We're looking for a capable point guard or a capable player to bring in emergency situations. Now, you can argue, yes, in these 2 games, he didn't look like he could do it, did not look good at all, but I remember what I saw last year from Tyler Kolek. I know what I saw from him in Marquette. I'm not letting a 2-game sample size veer me off of that path. I still believe in Tyler. I think he's going to finish the summer league strong. And if he doesn't, then we'll have conversations about that. But no need to panic here. The Knicks went 0-2. It's summer league. I get it. We haven't seen Knicks basketball in a few months. You want something to root for. You want something to be excited about. But that's just not what this is for us Knicks fans. Keep that in perspective. This is just a tryout for the back end of the bench. Let's just be honest. So don't take this too seriously. Enjoy the games. Have a good time. When rumors come up, I'll let you know. I'm not going to just throw out any rumor out there, not just throw out any trade out there. When they come up, and I'm sure they will this week, we'll talk about them. Right now, they don't really seem to be interested in signing anybody, waiting for that Marcus Smart buyout. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, the Knicks go 0-2 over the weekend. Saw some flashes from Dottier. Saw some flashes from Huck Porty. I thought the offense looked, very stagnant. A lot of that probably has to do with Tyler Kolek, but that's okay. Again, they have 2 more games in Summer League before they pack their bags and go home because they're not making the playoffs. Let's just be honest. It is what it is. But that's okay. Listen, hit the subscribe button below. It's Summer League right now. It's the offseason. The Knicks have maybe one more roster spot they could fill with a vet minimum probably. So there's not a lot to be talked about as far as signing players off waivers or on the offseason unless there are trade rumors going on, which I'm sure there will be because Cat's name is mentioned every day. Mikal Bridges' name is mentioned every day. Who knows what's going to happen? So stay tuned to this channel. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. And leave a comment. Let me know if you're worried about Tyler Kolek. And let me know if you believe the Kevin McCullar hype. Let me know if you like what you saw and if you think that can translate into regular season basketball for the New York Knicks. I'll catch you around tomorrow. Peace.